I'm here because a couple of YouTubers have asked me to try to put together a little tutorial, in particular on how I play How Great Is Our God, the Chris Tomlin song. Certainly one of my favorite praise and worship songs out there, and a lot of other really great versions of it put out by other musicians and worship leaders on YouTube. I don't really consider myself much of a teacher with regards to playing the piano. I'm self-taught myself. I do a lot of things that I'm sure are just utilitarian to me. They work for me. So don't take this as advice for how to play the piano or a replacement for doing what your own teachers tell you to do if you take lessons. But at the same time, I play by ear, and so I kind of work my way through some of these songs. I'm actually really kind of flattered that somebody would think that something that I did was worthy of actually explaining how I do it. But it is very simple, and so let me just jump right into it here. I'm going to do the song for the sake of this tutorial in the key of C, just so it's a little easier to play. I usually play it in B, but I'll play it in C for now, okay? So you want to learn how to play basic chords, of course. Any basic major chord is going to have a first, a third, and a fifth note in the chord in it, and we're really playing that basically when we do this. And I like to at least play a first and a fifth with my left hand and put those together. Now, you can play like that. I like to play the chords a little bit richer than that, and so I'll very often add the second note in the chord, which is really an inverted ninth. Right, here's a ninth, there's a ninth down here. So I'm playing 1, 2, 3, and 5, or really 1, 3, 5, and 9, but the 9 is inverted down here, okay? So that's my C chord. There's only a few chords in this song. There's that C, and then there's an A minor, which just walks down a couple of steps. I like to play here's the root note, the C. I like to play the B when I'm walking down, and then here's the A minor chord. 1 and 5 down here, 1, 3, 5 here. Again, I've got an inverted seventh in there this time, which just sounds nice, right? Now another thing you can do, very often when I play this chord, if I'm coming off of a C, which I am in this song, when I walk down, I can just leave my right hand here, because the C and the E are the third and the fifth in the A minor chord anyway. That G is the seventh, and then when you leave the D in here, it just sounds nice. It makes the chord rich. Listen to this. It's a very nice sounding version of A minor. And then there's a G chord, standard G chord. Again, you can add the inverted ninth, right? You can also play a suspended chord with a fourth, which I like to do a lot. And then the only other chord in the song is this F, right? Again, invert the ninth. It sounds good. Those are the only chords in the song. And then from there, it's just a matter of knowing when to play what. Let me just say this now. Maybe other people's opinions about this are different. It's very important that whatever you play on the piano, on a guitar, whatever it may be, remember that these songs are about the vocals. They're about the messages of the songs, the lyrics, the words coming through. It's hard to listen to somebody play and sing when you can't hear the words. It's what you're listening to, or the words. In Christian music, we're trying to convey a message. And so make sure you keep what you're playing simple and keep it out of the way of the vocal. Concentrate on singing well and singing with feeling and singing in a way that you can communicate a message, okay? So here's a little introduction.